Welcome to Accelerate My Practice. So glad you could join us here today. We're going to be chatting about the office tour. You know, one of those things that the question is, should we do it? Should we not do it? Do you do it? Is it interesting? Is it boring? Is the person giving the tour bored out of their gourd when they're giving the tour? And if they are, then is it effective? So we want to start off with a humorous example of an office tour that I personally love. I wouldn't necessarily suggest doing it this way every time, but I gotta believe this is probably a really, really fun office to work at. So we'll play it real quick and then we'll come back and we'll chat.
It creates fun. Absolutely. It's different, right? It sets you apart from the norm on doing something different. If your team is on board with having some fun, have some fun one day and do an office tour like a video office tour. Or if you don't want to have fun and you want to do something a little bit more serious, that's okay too. But you know, at least you're educating the patients on the type of technology you guys have, on your staff members, friendly staff members, just all the capabilities that you have in your office.
You know, the bottom line that I see there is I see a lot of energy, I see a lot of fun, and I have to believe, for the most part, other than the bit of awkwardness you can see with a few of them there, they have a ton of fun. So I think first and foremost, when it comes to the tour, you got to make sure that whatever you do, you're having a blast while you're doing it, or it will be terrible.
Absolutely.
So I think the key when you're doing an office tour is, one, to highlight, you know, last week I think it was, we did the value proposition. This is the time to scream that story of what's my value proposition and be proud of it. And then go through, and if you've got the technology and it's not being used, show it to them. Go, this is so cool. Watch how this does this. I mean, think about the last time you got a new iPhone or a new car or a new purse and how you showed somebody that because you were excited about it. That's the way I want you to do this. Now, I realize the challenge with that is that you're going to maybe be doing this tour a lot. And the first time it might be exciting. The second time it might still be exciting. On the 50th time, that's when it's going to be tough.
Exactly.
But that's when it's the most important to make sure that it still remains engaging. And what it's all about is it's a moment for you to show what your differentiation is, be excited about it, and educate the patient. So the lesson I learned real early on is never assume what people know about what you offer, because they might not have any idea. You know, there's people that I could go meet talking about what we do here, and they'd be like, you do a TV show? I mean, what's that all about? So it's important that we have that as part of our speech, if you will, for our office tour.
Absolutely. Well, the other thing too is you're in it every single day that to you, it might seem like this is just everyday business, not a big deal. To a patient though, who comes in, maybe once a year, once every 6 months, it's still new to them. There are going to be certain items or certain procedures that you guys do or certain pieces of technology that you have within your office that might seem like just everyday stuff, but whenever you think about it, for a patient that's in there for just a small amount of time, to them it's new. So I would say if your mindset is getting you into thinking, well, I don't want to say this because that's just a given. Wherever your mind says that's a given, they should know that's standard. Those are the things you want to bring up in your tour. So I would say start taking a look around your office. Start taking a look around what you guys offer as far as dentistry. What do you think you do the best? Some dentists feel like, you know what, I know I do implants the best, but I also do XYZ as well, but this is the best thing. Well, that's something that you can put some more focus around that. It could be you have a great front desk staff. You know, that team is great, they're upbeat, they're very helpful, they're knowledgeable. You know, those pieces is something to share with new patients coming in the door, current patients. The technology that you're bringing in, CE, we were just talking about, you know, CE courses earlier, you know, how you and your staff stay educated, stay up to date with the latest trends, with what's going on, constantly staying educated. That's something to definitely share with your patients. There's so much room for opportunity that you guys can share with your patients. And if your mindset is saying, no, I don't think so, or no, they already know that, no, the plaque's already on the wall, they can read it themselves, you know, you're you're doing a huge disservice to you and your practice by eliminating that. So I recommend, if you don't know where to start or how to present this, sit down with your coach. Your coach is not in the office as often. They can easily pick things out that you can show up within your office tour on helping you build that design out a bit more.
You know, I heard another speaker in dentistry once. He was talking about this very topic in the office tour, and he had suggested every time you get a thank you letter, one, ask for them all the time, but every time you get one, just tape it on the wall. So now when you're giving the tour and they're walking down the hall, they're like, you know, did you run out of money for wallpaper? The answer is no. These are all thank you letters and invitations to other patients from our existing patients. I hope to earn your respect to where I have one from you on this wall. And I look very forward to the day where I get that from you. I mean, what a great opportunity to ask for a referral, to show that people love you as opposed to some sterile walls where there's nothing on them. And it adds personality. You know, there's little things from like my little kids scribbling all over. There's, you know, it's a fun thing that you can do that would allow you to have a different impact. One of the questions that we get all the time relative to this topic is who should get a tour?
Oh yeah, we did, yes.
And what I would suggest relative to that is certainly anyone who's new to the practice, anyone who's been away from the practice, you know, they became inactive for some time, or if you get something new in the practice. I mean, if you bring in Botox, if you bring in 3D, if you bring in something that's new and different that you didn't have the last time they were there, I would certainly do a tour at that moment to showcase whatever that thing is that's new and different and fancy that would potentially be very, very exciting for that new patient. But I think if you're doing that, you're going to see massive energy come into the practice. You'll start attracting more energetic patients, and I think you'll have a lot more fun as well.
I think so too. If you have any questions, reach out to a coach, reach out to me, reach out to Darren, any one of us. We will help you guys get started on this as soon as possible.
Appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you next week, 8 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Until then, have a wonderful day.
Have a good week.
What if you could have the practice of your dreams? What's holding you back? Imagine a life where you have everything you ever wanted.